Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Georgie, so lovely to have you here. Welcome to day one of Wellmas. So Wellmas is your little advent calendar for different wellbeing and wellness tips to help you get through what can be for some a very difficult time of year. Now, for many people, myself included, Christmas can be a really magical time spent with family, loved ones, giving gifts, giving time, effort, love, that kind of thing. However, for some people this is not always the case. It can be an incredibly stressful time for people, whether that's physically, mentally or emotionally. So physically, obviously, in the northern hemisphere, we have less daylight, which means, less UV, less vitamin D. That can affect our emotional state. So whether you get seasonal depression, seasonal affective disorder, or whether you have a weakened immune system as a result. Myself personally, I'm just getting over a chest infection. I always get a weakened immune system around this time. And anyone who works in hospitality or retail can tell you that physically Christmas takes a toll. It's a very stressful time physically for the body and mentally stressful if you're working in a customer-based role during this time. So that brings me on to the next one, that it is quite a stressful period. We have lots of expectations that we feel that we're expected to adhere to societally. We have, we have to have my decorations up, they have to look a certain way. We have to see this person, that person, we have to attend this function, that function, it has to be magical for the kids, it has to be this, and then you've obviously got, what is going on in a larger global scale at the moment. So UK, we're currently undergoing an economic crisis. So, that is another layer of stress that is not needed. And then obviously you have the emotional stress of Christmas. So perhaps it is your first Christmas without a loved one. Perhaps, there has been different changes in your life. So Christmas isn't what it used to be. So for whatever reason, Christmas is not always a fantastic time for people. Or it is a fantastic time, but it takes a toll. And I just want, over the next few weeks, to just give you some different things that might help. Now, you may be like, oh, I know these things. For me, some of these things that I'll be sharing will be things that I know and I know I should do, but I don't do them. And it's a reminder to do them and just give it a go. And some of these things are things that might be new to you. Some of these things might be things that you've forgotten. Actually, they do help. So, follow me along for the next few weeks so we get into Wellmas. And but this is day one. Day one of Wellmas. We're going to get ourselves outside. So wrap up warm, and I'll see you in just a second. So I've come to the meadow near my house. I am really lucky. I live in the countryside, so I have lots of beautiful places to walk around. And not everybody has that. So if you're living in a town or a city, you might just have paths. So maybe your little trip outside is just walking to a shop instead of jumping in the car, taking a walk around the block, or maybe a park, finding a park. I have to drive there or catch a bus, finding, if you can, a beauty spot, because there are lots of benefits to being outside. We talk about it quite a lot in the wellbeing community, whether that's sort of through like the yoga scene, or whether that is more medically based. It's kind of irrefutably proven that being outside is good for mental health and well-being. So if we break it down into different ways and reasons for that. So the first one is being inside. Can be lots of allergens and things in our homes. The chemicals that we use for cleaning, or dust and things like that. It's things in the home which can affect our breathing and the quality of our breath. There's also and the quality of the oxygen that we put into our bodies. And oxygen is so important, and the quality of the oxygen is important, because that is what, when the oxygen goes into our lungs, it then goes into the bloodstream, and that's what powers our muscles, etc., etc. And obviously, if we're not breathing properly because we've got dust and allergens and things like that going in, going into the system, then obviously that's just going to affect our general overall well-being. So getting outside, getting actual fresh air is going to be so rejuvenating. So we have that benefit, but also you have kind of the same but opposite, is that also sometimes our homes are excessively sterile. We clean them, and we're advertised with like cleaning products that we're constantly washing everything and getting rid of bacteria, antiviral and all of that. So sometimes we don't expose our bodies to the right kind of bacteria to actually build a healthy immune system. So getting outside, you are exposed to natural elements and natural things to help build a healthy immune system. So that's one benefit of being outside. But we do have in the Northern Hemisphere reduced daylight. We also have the intensity of the sunlight that we have is greatly reduced. So a lot of people get seasonal affective disorder and things like that, a weakened immune system due to the lack of vitamin D. So just getting outside, the quality, it might not be as strong, but it is better than being at home all the time. The light that might filter in through your windows is going to be so much less powerful this time of year. So just getting outside into the actual sunlight is going to be so beneficial. Getting that vitamin D, getting that UV radiation. Obviously, we've got the fact that we're walking, even if it is just a gentle stroll. You have the fact that you are still technically exercising, so you will be releasing endorphins into the body, and that is going to make you feel good. What better way to try to get yourself out of a bad situation, maybe mentally, than literally flooding your body with a natural chemical that it already produces, whilst, if you can get somewhere beautiful, also being a little bit in awe of how beautiful it is. So, you're kind of flooding your body that way with lots of feel-good chemicals. So we're flooding the body with good oxygen. We're giving ourselves good bacteria and good exposure so that we can build a healthy, strong immune system. We're getting natural daylight, which is, some UV exposure, some vitamin D exposure to build a healthy immune system. Also connect us with the natural cycles of the planet and the environment. Our circadian rhythm, the planet has a circadian rhythm, daytime, nighttime, and us as humans, we also have a circadian rhythm, and if we can sync that as much as possible with what is going on in the planet, then that's great, and that can only be beneficial for you. Obviously as well, when you're outside and you're getting the vitamin D helps produce the serotonin, which I think is what gets changed into the melatonin. But anyway, melatonin is what helps you sleep at night. So, if you're stressed and you're not sleeping at night, getting outside, getting some vitamin D, adjusting your melatonin levels, helping you get a good night's sleep. Obviously, if you go for a long walk, you'll be tired, so which will also help you get sleep, which will also just help you feel better in the morning. So it's just this constantly cyclical knock-on effect of being outside. One of the things I'll talk about more later will be a gratitude practice. So, just being grateful for the chance to be outside, being grateful for the beauty that's around us. It's just helping work a mindset that is fantastic. and also it's an opportunity for some mindfulness. Now, I'm very unmindful because I've just been incredibly distracted by how beautiful these sloe berries are. I'm just going to show you. So just look at these sloe berries. I love sloe berries so much. Just that dark purple, it's going to focus, there we go, the dark purple with that like dusty coating that they get, and then you've got them like just delicately placed on the branch with the lichen. So you've got the purple with the green, the brown. I just think sloe berries are so beautiful, and this is exactly what I was talking about. We're just taking a moment to observe the natural world. So that brings me on to my last point, my last thing about why it's great to be outside is that it's fantastic for developing a mindful practice. You have walking meditations where, you just sort of consciously pay attention and you breathe with how you walk. So they might be worth looking into to just observe deeply what's going on around you. So maybe you don't have far to walk, but there's a bench and you can sit on a bench, or you can do it as you go. But you can just stop and you can just observe one particular tree or plant or bush, and observe the colours, observe the textures, take in the smells around you. I did a video on the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique, which is basically tapping into the present moment using all of your senses, and coming outside on a walk is such a good opportunity to really ground into the present moment using the senses. What can you hear? And I'm not just talking about your stereotypical, I can hear the birds in the background, but can you hear like the wind through the leaves? Can you hear the distant sound of traffic? I'm not judging what you can hear, like, oh my god, I can hear traffic, it's ruining my experience. But just be like, okay, cool, there's traffic. Yep, okay, cool, that was a bird. Oh, look, that's the wind in the trees. Just observing and coming at it from a place of just acceptance for what is going on around you. Then you've got smells, you've got, can you taste anything, what you can see, and then obviously what you can touch. So hopefully I have extolled the virtues and the benefits of being outside, and hopefully you have a beautiful walk, and I will see you for day 2 of Wellmas.